All right, so today we are doing our second value study. I'm just going to write up at the top, value study. And we're doing a sphere. Remember, a sphere is one of our forms. It's taking just a circle and turning it into 3D. So start by tracing your circle stencil, whatever it is. Here I have this fabulous roll of tape. Let's see, Ethan, what's up? Yeah, Ethan, this has to be physical. Although I am curious about seeing it. If you want to do it digital too, just for fun, I think that could be interesting. But no, I want you to do this one physical. Oh, I wish I could toggle easier. Let's see if I can do this. Oh. Alright. So, let's see, what can you guys see at home? So I have like a weird thing going on with my screen. I wish I could show you both things at the same time, but I don't know how to do that. Alright, well, we're going to start off. I might need to move this. Can you guys see that okay? Let's deal with this. I need this. Alright guys, we're going to start off by thinking about our light source. Our light source is where the light is coming from. We're going to say our light source is here. I'm just going to give it a little sunshine and label it light source. Alright, you're going to draw like a little oval facing that light source, but not all the way on the end. So right about here. And remember, all of our shadows that we're going to be making need to curve. So make sure when we draw these next lines, they're all going to be curvy. So this is going to be my highlight. That's going to be my highlight, where it's going to be the brightest.
You want it to go right down?
Yes, write it down too. So this is this will hopefully help you later on. Yeah, this is practice. So remember when we did our value scales last time, and I had you like number them 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. So we're going to kind of use this to help us match up. And I'm going to number each little section for you. Alright, so let's draw a curve here. This makes me think of the Death Star. Dun, 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 dun. So this is going to be our 1 value. And as you get better at drawing these, you may not need to like draw all these lines out. This is going to be our 3 value. This guy down here is going to be our 5. That's going to be our darkest. And then we're going to have like a reflective light value here. So this is going to be 3. And that's reflective light. And then underneath it, we're going to have some drop shadow. And this needs to be an oval. And then within that drop shadow oval is going to be another oval. So this here is going to be a 5 value. So that's going to be our darkest area. And then here is going to be a 4 value. And this is all reflective light. It bounces off other objects and surfaces. Oh, you guys can't see me writing down here. Sorry. Reflective light. I'll take a picture of this too when I'm done. And it's also on this poster. I gotta get this document camera a little higher. Give me just a sec, guys. There we go. Now we can see all the things. Okay. So, this value or highlight is going to be 0. That's going to be just the white. So if you're looking at the grid that you drew last time, it's almost like a paint by numbers kind of. You're looking at, okay, there's my 5. Where does it need to be 5? The darkest is here and here. And here's kind of what it will look like when you're done. And we'll smooth out those hard lines. So when you're blending this, adding the value, don't color up and down. That's going to flatten it. You want all of your shading to be curved. So I'm using my ebony pencil now, my shading pencil, and I'm going to color in the 5 sections really dark. Remember on our scales that we did yesterday or Wednesday, so you're trying to match that. Again, I'm videotaping this demonstration, guys, so if you get behind at home, I'll post it. And then the drop shadow is also going to be super dark. That's going to be my darkest value. Does that make sense why this part is the darkest? Because if the light's here, this isn't going to receive any light. So this is our 5, this is our darkest. Your hand hurt? Yeah, you're doing a good job. My hand hurts too. If your hand's not cramping up, then you're not pressing for it, probably. Nice.
If it's not painful, it's not doing it.
That looks pretty good. I mean, I see it. Good. How do you think that is? Your hand hurting? Good. Your hand's not hurting? You're not pressing hard.
My hand's hurting and it's not
Are you
hurting.
catching on that? Oh, Miss Thomas, I learned how to videotape stuff. Yeah, I mean, I wish I could condense it. It's like 30 minutes of me shading, but they can cut for. That's great, Peyton. It is, yeah. All right, guys at home, you got that? You might need to sharpen. All right, so let's do our next shade intensity. Let's do our 4, which is going to be a little lighter. And that's going to be behind the drop shadow. So this part. Okay, thank you, dear. So after doing this one, you may decide you need to go darker on your other ones, which I've decided I want to go a little darker. All right, so we did our 5 value and our 4 value. My hand's starting to get dirty too, that's good. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, that's right, there's a one inside there too. The shadow is a little far that way, so it might look, we'll see how it looks. If it looks weird, then it's better. So when you're cleaning on it, remember to keep them. So guys, just remember, keep shading in the curve. Like, don't go back and forth. Go in the direction of the ellipse. All right, let's do our 3 section. So that is going to be right here in the middle. It's going to be lighter than our 4. And remember, you have that scale from the previous day that you can kind of match it up with. It's always easier to start off lighter and then go darker than go really, really dark and not be able to take it back. We're doing number 3, the 3 value, and that's going to go in this middle stripe. So for this one, it's okay if you have these hard lines in between. We're going to repeat the whole thing again without the hard lines. But it'll be easier. And then we also have 3, the same value behind it. It's okay, Ethan, I already got you. And if you missed anything, this is all recorded. I'll post it. And then finally, we're going to have our 1 value, but I want you to watch what I do up here with the 1. On this side, I'm going to almost be like shading in a ellipse so that it keeps the curve. And I'm going to blend it in with my finger. So, cool thing with if you take your pink eraser, you can go back in and add your highlights. So I kind of smeared over that so I can go back and make it white again. And I can also lighten this little area. Number 1, I just kind of went in a circle around the highlight circle. And it's matching to that one. The highlight will be 0. Alright, so there's like my very divided one. Remember, like we kind of did with the first one where we had the division lines. So now I want to do the same thing, but I want a smooth blend in between the transitions. So see how it's almost kind of like striped? Now we're going to try to go a little smoother. So once you're finished with this, flip the page, we're going to go again. So I'm going to put these things in again, really lightly though. I'm not going to label it. But I'm going to draw my little highlight circle. I'll give my... Say it again? No. Yes, you're creating another one, Ethan. This one is going to be without the hard lines, the divisions. So I'm going to draw where they kind of are very lightly, just to remind myself. So remember these two spots are going to be the darkest, 5s. And then this is going to be a 4. 5, 5. This is going to be a 0. This is going to be the 1. And this is going to be the 3. But now I want transitions. So between like the 0 and the 1, I'm going to have like a 2. Between the 1 and the 3, I'm going to have a 2. Between the 3 and the 5, I'm going to have a 4. And between the 5 and the 4, you know, just... So, kind of the same thing, but we're going to have more we're going to have a smoother transition, like we did with the scale. The first one we had the hard divisions, the second one the smooth transitions. Alright, so here I go. So now I'm kind of going at my normal, like this is how I would normally do it. A little darker. The great thing about these shading pencils is that they like smear really nicely, so I can go back in and fill in those like white spots with just a blend. So I'm still kind of in the 3 zone. Now I want to start going to like a 4. I think you guys will like the look of this one better. The other one is more just to kind of show you like what you should be doing. Alright, so now I'm in my 5 area. Pressing harder, still trying to keep it, the curve. This is going to be a 3. Back down to the 3 right here. I'm going to fill in some of these edges. Yeah, Ethan, if all you have is a regular pencil, go for it. It'll just be a little, it won't be as quite as dark as ours. Alright, so that is my sphere. I'm going to go back in and use my eraser to get my highlight back. And I'm going to clean up my edges where I went a little crazy. I almost blew off the eraser, but I have a mask on. Okay, so now let me do this drop shadow. And the drop shadow, the part right under the sphere is going to be a 5. Again, I'm just like referring to my little chart that I made to kind of match up that we did yesterday. And the more you shade, you'll kind of just be able to eyeball it after a while. You don't need to refer to your chart. And I want a more gradual change into my 4 part of the shadow. Come back highlight, there you go. Alright guys, and that's my sphere with it's my Death Star. Dun dun dun. Alright.